Welcome wrestling fans to the SCU Digest presented by SoCal Uncensored. I'm your host Joshua Shibata, and today we're going to review the newest independent wrestling promotion to hit the SoCal scene, Bar Wrestling, which held its debut show last Thursday night, June 8th, at the American Legion Hall in Baldwin Park, California. Now, Bar Wrestling is the drunk-crazed wild child of SoCal-based megastar Joey Ryan, who many people may not know is no stranger to promoting and running a wrestling company. He actually is one of the masterminds behind Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. But Bar Wrestling is 100% Joey Ryan. Not only did he book, promote, and wrestle on the show, he also worked a ticket booth, giving out tickets to every paid fan, as well as greeting each and every one of them with a smile and a handshake. A real class act from a guy who's known as the King of Dong Style and the King of Sleeves. As for the card itself, it was standing room only in the American Legion Hall, simply because there is no chairs set up. Bar Wrestling is promoting a concert-like atmosphere and emphasizing watching wrestling while enjoying a beer with your friends. Not necessarily a unique concept, but a concept that Bar Wrestling pulled off really well. And even though it was supposed to be an independent wrestling show, it really didn't feel like one. It actually felt more like it was a giant party, with Bar Wrestling trying to emphasize to its fans to relax and enjoy the show. And what a show there was. The card started off with a bang. In the opening match, we saw one half of the Lucha Brothers, Penta and taking on the machine known as Cage. Now, these two know each other really well from all their matches in Lucha Underground, as well as many matches all over the independent SoCal scene, so they went back and forth, with Penta going for quick strikes, quick kicks, but it was just the brute strength of Cage that put Penta down, and to add injury to insult, Cage finished Penta off with his own package pile driver to pick up the win. SoCal legend Scorpio Sky take on Impact Wrestling's own Eli Drake. Now, this was a very technical match with both wrestlers going hold for hold. Scorpio Sky pulling off some really innovative offense, including this really cool step over into a neck breaker. But Eli Drake always seemed to be just one step ahead of Sky, and in the end was able to hit his version of the air raid crash, the gravy train, to get the hard-fought win. This next match was one of my favorites of the night, as it showcased two of the best women's wrestlers on the SoCal scene today, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, and Lucha Underground's own Taya Valkyrie. Now, this was an interesting clash of styles, as Shayna used her MMA background to try to bend Taya in ways the human body was not meant to bend. But Chica Loca was not going to be pushed around by the young upstart Shayna Baszler, and Taya came back with a lot of offensive maneuvers, stiff kicks, and used her years of experience to capitalize on the mistakes that the overeager Shayna Baszler would make. And in the end, it was that experience that trumped the youth of Shayna, as Taya was able to hit her patent Northern Light suplex and double stomp to get the win in a really great match. Up next was Bar Wrestling's very first Barroom Brawl between Hot Young Briley and Impact Wrestling's EC3. Now, like a typical barroom brawl, this brawl went all over the bar, with EC3 chucking Hot Young Briley out into the crowd and even dumping a bunch of beers onto the poor kid. The fight soon turned into a fight over manhood, as Briley started targeting the testicular area of EC3. Now, Briley reminded me a lot of a current WWE superstar. I couldn't quite put my finger on who, but he really was able to show off a lot of really great movesets before EC3 cut him off with some of the greatest kick to the nuts that would even make Bobby Hill proud. Google it for the reference, kids. And in the end, EC3 was able to hit the 1%er and pick up the win in the very first Barroom Brawl. Back from intermission, Bar Wrestling returned with Peter Avalon taking on the unannounced Pinky Sanchez. Now, this was the very first time that I saw Pinky Sanchez live, and he did not disappoint. as these guys had a very entertaining back and forth wrestling match with Peter Avalon pulling off old school back rake as well as an airplane spin. But in the end, Pinky Sanchez was just a little bit more conniving and creative, was able to sneak in a quick roll-up to get a win over Peter Avalon. Now the next match was what I considered the match of the night. Tag team action, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae, the world's cutest tag team, taking on Matt Cross and the baddest bitch, Ivelisse. Now this match had everything you would typically find in a Joey Ryan and a Candice LeRae match. Lollipops, crotch grabs, booplexes, and Candice LeRae throwing herself all over the place without any regard for her own personal safety. But it wasn't until Cross and Ivelisse started really putting on the pressure, hitting a lot of hard-hitting tag team maneuvers, that it forced the world's cutest tag team to pick up their game. Check out the video and you'll see what I mean. Now the main event of Bar Wrestling's very first event was Jeff Cobb against Willie Mack in what was a hard-hitting, back and forth athletic wrestling contest. In the end, Willie Mack was able to hit the Stone Cold Stunner and the Chocolate Thunder Driver to get the win over Jeff Cobb. But then, an unexpected party crasher tried to rain on both of those men's parade. I'm not going to reveal who it is. You're going to have to just wait for the DVD when Bar Wrestling releases it. For more information on Bar Wrestling, when they'll be releasing their DVDs, or when their next live show is, you can get all that information on their Facebook page, Bar Wrestling, or follow them on the Twitter, @Bar Wrestling. Follow Joey Ryan as well, @JoeyRyanOnline. I personally would like to thank Joey Ryan and the entire Bar Wrestling crew for putting on a great show. It was very well done, very professional. It went without a hitch. The crowd was ecstatic throughout the whole night, even with it being a late Thursday night. Can't wait to do it again. Thank you once again, wrestling fans, for checking out the SCU Digest. Don't forget to check out SoCalUncensored.com, your #1 source for all your independent wrestling news in the SoCal scene. Check us out again at SoCalUncensored.com, or check us out on the Twitter @SoCalUncensored. My name is Joshua Shibata. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.